Hi, Stitchers.
Hi, I'm Keisha.
And I'm Laura. Welcome to the Pattern Queens, episode 124. Today is Monday, May 29th, and this is a channel about cross stitch.
And friendship, and rambles, and lots of shenanigans. And oh boy, I have been off of work for 3 days. This is the 4th day I've been off, and I'm so excited. And I'm not excited to go back to work tomorrow.
I have been off of work for 3 days, and I don't go back for a couple months. So, yeah. Whew. And we're also being a little bit distracted because Katie Landis is over there doing some product photos, and they're coming up on our television, which is on the other side. So it's kind of fun for us to see it all happen in here.
And I just got really close to you because my drink was up there. So now I've moved it down here, and who knows?
Okay, what's new with you?
Well, I've had a really good weekend. The reason why I took Friday off and I had a date day with my husband because his birthday was yesterday. So we've been having just a lot of fun and some family time and some friend time, and it's been good. We saw the third Guardians of the Galaxy movie. We really liked that. So it's pretty much what's going on in my life. What's new with you other than school's out for summer?
School's out. So that's the big news, and that was so exciting. And Saturday we went on a girls trip for the day because to celebrate that I'm out of school. So that was exciting, and we got to see our friend Christy Lee, who we don't get to see as often as we'd like. So that was really nice. We had a good chat Friday night with the Friday night group. So things are starting really nicely.
Nice.
And when I was looking back at videos, I realized that this is the same shirt I wore last week. So yes, you were at a new video. And I wore this specifically because I thought I had worn the other top that I had out. So
that
yeah.
To me, I have a lot of t-shirts, but I just seem to wear the same ones every weekend. And so I do have to think about it before I come back. I'm like, did I wear this last weekend? I don't think I don't think so.
Oh my goodness. So I already told you that we went on a girls trip. So we went to Cecilia's Samplers in Branson. So I have stash. Do you have stash?
I have no stash, but I'm excited to see yours.
Okay. Well, from the freebie bin outside, I got this magazine, and I got it for that sampler. That's the reproduction. And I'll show you. It's so funny. I flipped through the whole magazine and then came back, and I'm like, oh, because it looks so different.
Yes.
So there's the version that they did, which just makes me think that I could do this however I want. I can use whatever colors I want, and it will come out really beautiful. And Katie laughed at me because, yes, it's another alphabet, but I really liked it. And it's from 1990. Did you catch that?
Oh, nice.
And I was going to leave it there, and the girls are like, it's free. Take it with you. Right. So then I got, let's look at this one. From Chessie and Me, Acorn and Crow's Stitch House, which Jessica was telling us she thinks was a class piece, and that's how they're finished. But I just really liked it. I don't even know if I will do it as a sewing roll or if I will do that just as a pretty little sampler, because it was I just really liked it. Yeah. So pretty. And then I have been looking at these and looking at these. So I bought Spring and Summer from Erica Michaels. And those are the two flosses that it calls for. And then when I was looking, they had some clearance fabric. The white just called for, I can't get it to move, but it basically was just calling for a white linen. And they had a clearance piece of 36 count white Edinburgh. Oh, so nice. I just got that. It's also big enough for me to do it twice.
Wow.
So if I get my tush in gear, I'll probably do it like this for me, and then maybe choose another color and do it for an exchange piece.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
And then I also, did I show you guys? Sorry, I just am showing Keisha and holding it here.
We haven't talked about the trip yet.
White Edinburgh. So you can't even see it because of the glare, right? And here's what I love. They wrote on the label of the one that they cut what it was for.
Yes, I like that about them.
So then the other one called for Russian tea cake in 37 count, and they had it.
Oh, wow.
And so I pulled it out. Well, they had a little piece cut that, again, if I just took the little piece, I can do it twice.
Oh, nice.
So I will do it once with this, and you can tell. I mean, that's just kind of a nice creamy Russian tea cake is a beautiful, beautiful color. So that's that one. And then I'll pull this one out. I'm doing all the rattles. On clearance, I found a Fabrics by Stephanie frosted cranberry. I bought it. I didn't really care what count it was. It's 28 count and it's a fat 8.
Ooh,
Look how pretty that is.
so pretty.
And both sides are a little bit, I feel like they're just a little different looking, but man, I love that.
Yeah.
And Christy Lee, we always do show and tell at lunch. And we went to the Mexican.
See, this is what happens whenever you stay home.
Christy Lee was like, oh, I was gonna buy that. So when we took her back to her car, she went back in the shop and she was gonna buy some of this fabric too.
It's hard to resist whenever you do that. Yeah, no, whenever we go and we shop somewhere, we all bring our bags in, and while we're waiting for the food to come to the table, we all spread out and show everything that we bought.
It's fun because you've been in there buying the things, and sometimes you're even like helping each other, but it's fun to see what people end up with.
Right. It's fun because usually we like kit a whole project or something like that. So it's really fun.
Katie found a beautiful, beautiful piece of fabric for me, and it would have been a big, big piece. I resisted and I put it back, and it was in the clearance stuff. It was a great deal. I put it back, and I think I spent less for everything than I would have for the one piece, even at the big discount.
Well, I'm proud of you for resisting.
Wow. It was purple. Yeah. I also bought some needles, and I'll tell you about those when I get to that project. So, do you have any finishes this week?
I have no finishes this week.
Well, it's the Laura show for a while.
Yeah, that's true.
Guess what?
You have one? Oh, you finished it.
I did. I finished Helianthus from Ink Circles, and I went and ordered all of the stuff to finish it just like it's finished.
Oh, yes, because that's beautiful.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. Mine is stitched on, I think it's 32 count Apple Blossom from Witchelt, and that's what it looks like.
So beautiful.
Seriously, once I got the highlighter out, I was done.
Good.
I stayed up the night that I finished it. I stayed up until about 2 o'clock in the morning because I was just determined. And I had done the purple in the very center, but I saved the other fill-in inside this black to be my reward after I got everything else done, because I knew I would stall. So, and this is in a book sleeve from Love You More that, I just thought that went with it. Yeah. So
congratulations.
That's my finish. Thank you. I was really excited, and seriously, it really just took the highlighter, and then I was fine.
Good. You didn't stall in the place. Whenever I stitched that, I ripped a part of it out 3 times.
Oh,
and had to keep putting it back in. But I was out of retreat, so I was distracted.
Okay, so now we are to whips. Keisha, would you like to show some things?
I do have some whips this week. I will tell you that my stitching time has been limited. We're doing this challenge at work. I don't know if I've mentioned it on here, where progressively each week you have to do more and more steps. And this past week was 7,000 steps. So a lot of my free time after work, I was just walking in place.
And what are you going up to this week?
Oh, it's 8,500 steps starting today. And that seems like a lot. But you know what? 5,000 steps seemed like a lot whenever I started.
A few weeks ago.
So here we go. But anyway, that's taking a lot of my
I've
time.
encouraged Keisha to get up in the morning and take James for a walk.
Yeah.
Because that'll knock out at least a few steps.
Yeah, and we should do that.
Will he still ride in a stroller for you?
He will, but he likes to get out.
Yeah.
So probably if we went for a walk, I would have to hold his little hand up and down our street because we don't have sidewalks on our street, so we would have to.
Keisha would get a workout. Her street is like this.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. So
maybe you could go up to the school and walk around the playground.
There we go.
That wouldn't work. It would be flat, right?
So, but anyway, I do have some whips to show. The first one I'll show you. I actually have it's not an online one. So this is hot cider from Mill Hill.
I want to see this.
Okay, it's cute. And it's all the kit materials. And I have been holding on to this for a long time and I just haven't been working on it. But here is where I am. So I have the chalkboard and the little glass that the cider's in. And then I started my bushel over here. You can see the outline of some apples. And this is just on perforated paper. Like I said, it's all the kit materials. This is 3 strands.
So it is a lot to get good coverage, but you have to backstitch on everything too.
Yeah,
that is really cute. Not a lot of beads in it.
Not a ton. A lot of the cup is beaded. There's some beads in the apples. I see some
down in here. Probably more than I think, but
there's always more than you think. But yeah, just to show you guys one more time. So I really like this one. I bought this a couple years at Cecilia's, I think. Because they put the little ornament Mill Hills next to the register, which is the perfect way to get me because I don't get one, and then I'm like, So that is the first thing I worked on, and then I'll save this for last. The next thing I worked on, I'll show off my bags too, is in this bag from the 805 Stitcher that came in the treat box from Black Needle Society this year.
Such a cute bag.
I love that one. And I have Halloween Wreath by the Frosted Pumpkin in there. And this is on a piece of 28 count pewter from Picture This Plus.
It is a sunny day. Everything is kind of getting blown out, but your stitches look beautiful on it.
Well, thank you. So I'm woefully behind on this SAL because this SAL has the bow finish, it's up over here and almost all the way up to the top.
Wow.
So I'm very far behind.
I think you're not behind Katie Landis. Does that make you feel better?
Well, we both like to start a SAL and then
it's a start along.
She's ahead of me on the Christmas wreath, which I also have. So anyway, I worked on basically everything that you see over on this side. So I was really having a good time with it. But then I switched to something else, which I'll now show you.
Are you back on your challenge group?
So I was working toward it and then my entire week got away from me. But if I can manage 2,000 stitches on that by the end of the month, which I don't think I'm going to, guys. We're supposed to stitch 2,000 stitches.
You have 3 days. 700 stitches a day. Come on.
Easy. There's a monthly challenge to do 2,000 stitches on something that's a ring, and a wreath is a ring.
Oh, there you go.
So I don't think I'm gonna make it, but that's what's challenge I'm stitching on it for. The next one I'm keeping in this bag from SamSarah Designs.
And you don't get to see because I didn't realize this was, but that is metallic in there.
I love this bag. Really good quality bag. So
Melissa does beautiful stuff.
Yeah, so is the one from the 805 Stitcher. It's both really good bags. I started another SAL from the Frosted Pumpkin, Castle Homecoming, and this does not look like a whole lot, but I get 1 point for every 100 stitches I stitch on the SAL. So that's what I was using this one for. Okay,
so but do you know? You usually know these things. How many stitches are in part 1?
Well, I can only get up to 1,000 stitches, points for 1,000 stitches, and this is over 1,000 stitches.
Yeah. I mean, their SALs are no joke.
Yeah, no. Which is why, also I get distracted. But anyway, this is on a piece of 32 count Valor, and I'm really enjoying it. So that's why I stopped working on the Halloween wreath, because I needed to work on another SAL that I've started.
Did you get the needle minder?
Oh, I did. I should show you. So I'll take my needle off. So it says Castle Sweet Castle.
So cute.
And there were a couple of different needle minders for this cell, but that was the one I liked the best.
That's fun.
And then the last one is, I don't know the last time I showed this on the channel. I'm not sure why I wanted to stitch on this, but here we are. I was just sitting at home and I'm like, you know what I haven't worked on for a while? This.
I don't even know what this is. I'm like,
well, that's because I haven't even shown you the picture. I haven't sent it to you to insert. This is Bonded by the Rain. It's from Heaven and Earth Designs, and the artwork's by Leonid Afremov. Katie Landis is giving me a nod.
This is one of Katie's favorite artists.
So
some beautiful posters.
Yes. So I have one page done and part of the second page. This is on a piece of 25 count easy grid fabric. And that I actually got this as a kit for my birthday one year from my in-laws because they're very nice. And they threw in a needle minder, which is, I think it's called Ugly Birds, but it's a chart. I don't know if you can still get it from them, but they are ugly and they are very fun. But anyway.
Okay, now I need to see that too.
Okay. But I don't know. It called to me.
They are a little creepy.
They're so weird and I love them.
Hey, but Katie Landis, there are some crazy flamingos in here. So you want to talk about those too?
So, well, and I can even take it off. So these are just, and I will have to look and see what the name of them are. They're basically just great big bobbins that I put all of my park threads on to keep them out of the way. So they pop up into a spool like that, and then you can close them so that it keeps all of your threads in there.
But they're also stackable, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could put more than one.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, I'll put it down in the show notes. I have to look up the name of it. I just found that in one of the Facebook groups I'm in for full coverage. Someone was suggesting these and I kept seeing them hanging all over people's projects. I'm like, well, I want to get that because I like to park my threads. I don't end them all the time. Another thing I was going to talk about is, and I'll put the brand that I'm using, but I have one of the ballpoint, and you can't see it. I have one of the ball tipped needles for this. One of the groups I was in suggested a ball tip needle for like heavy, like threads on the back. I mean, I'll show you. So even if you're trying to stitch neatly, there's just a lot of different colors in these things, and the ball tip goes right through it. And so I don't really like to use them for regular stitching, but I found as I was working with it last night that it was kind of nice for this.
Is it hard to end a thread with them?
It's a little bit more difficult because there's the bump. But since I'm parking most of them, that's not really much of an issue. And I can always switch to a different needle if I need to run it behind. But I found that it's just nice to poke it back through the back of the fabric.
You're getting great coverage.
Thank you. And this is actually, I guess I should tell you that too. This is just one strand. It's 1/1 on 25.
And you're doing full cross.
Yes. Yes.
You can tell though, that is solid.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there's like 500 different colors in there. Not really. There's not. And this is just, for those who know Hades, this is just the regular. I didn't get the large print version. It's not max color. It's not supersized. It's just the regular one.
That's a beautiful print though. And you guys will have seen that picture up there too.
Yeah,
so.
it's there are a couple of his pieces of artwork that I really like that Hade has charted. And I may buy another one, but this was my favorite one. So, awesome. And that's my first Hade I ever started. So,
ooh. How long ago did you start that then?
Oh no, it's been a long time. I just said
that was a bad question.
I'm not sure. It was before we were doing the channel though. I do know that. And but the pig has kind of been my Hade of choice. And I just pulled this one out, but it's massive, guys. Yeah. Well, the channel may have ended by the time I finished that one. So,
well, in the pig, you had kind of hit a point where you were doing big blocks of color too.
And this, I worked on this for like hours, and I did pretty well. I got over 300 stitches on it, which is not typical when I work on a Hade, but don't know. It just really called to me. So
That's good. You got to go with it when you got
yeah.
that.
You ever get those times when you're like, oh, I remember that project?
Yes.
So
Yes.
But anyway, that's what happened to me, and now it's all I want to work on. That's the other problem. Is that's how I forget about projects. Because I pull one out, it's all I want to work on, and then I'm like, oh yeah, you remember the pig that you were stitching? Oh, which thank you, Judy. Judy commented on our last video that she really likes it when the pig comes out, because I did stitch on that at a retreat. That
When the pig flies,
Yep. So anyway, she also said that you need to watch out for Laura, the naughty hoop stealer. She did bring me my hoop back. If you guys remember, last time she took my hoop, but she brought it back to me. So she's no longer in debt. One hoop.
I specifically left it on a project that I knew I was bringing with me today so that I would give it back. It was the funniest thing though. When I got home, I pulled that project out and I'm like, this is not my hoop. Not my hoop. Oh well.
But anyway, those are the projects I worked on this week.
Okay. Well, I don't have very many to show either, but I will say, since it was the end of school, I brought my fun every day to show. And right now I am on April. So those are the 4 that are going. And I have not done a good job keeping up on things. This was the first set that I did, the July set. There are 3 of them. And then here is the 4th one from July.
Mhm.
And then this started April. So thank you. And then I am on the number 4, which I have personalized. That 4 is not faithful to the pattern, but it's fine. I'm just making the dots go. And really, I need to just sit down and finish off those dots, because I think that's what was keeping me from finishing it, is that I didn't want to mess with all those. But I'm kind of in that group. Although I will say this is frog legs that I'm using. I think I have 1 strand left. So I have got to check and see if I still have more of this.
Yeah.
These are fun to work on, but they are solid.
Yeah, I need to. I did really well for a long time, and then I just fell off of it. I need to bring mine back up.
This was a good one to have at school, and I was doing really well working on it until we hit testing, and then I pulled out those bigger projects, and I was able to finish off the floral Darth Vader, and I really got a lot done, so it was good.
Yeah.
But I could have been filling this in too.
It's okay, but you wanted to work on Darth Vader.
Yeah.
You just have to go.
And I have it in my bag from a Black Needle Society box. I just love this. All the crazy little mandrakes running around being naughty. And then I'm gonna stuff everything down here. Then you said you've been fixated. Yeah, I have been thinking about this project and how much I want to get back to this project. And boy, I really wanted to work on this project. And I pulled it out and I didn't have hardly anything done. I didn't have the lettering done. I think that I was in the word high. I worked backwards. So I had by the 4th of July done, and I needed to finish knee high. And then I started that green, and there are over 1,500 stitches in that little section. And then I'll have the quilts down below. So there's a lot to do.
Yes.
And everything's in the show notes. I'm not quite sure what the fabric is on this, but something that I like. It may be a picture this plus. If I pulled the other piece out, I'd probably be able to tell you it. But
that's okay. If we can't think of it, or if we forget to mention it, we put all of the details, the name of the chart, the designer, our fabric, and if we made any modifications to the floss.
We put our stitch count. We put everything down there. Then one of my starts for May was Hop On In from Hands On Design, which I really wanted to stitch. It's so cute. And I have the black fabric. Again, I have down below what it is. It's Fabrics by Stephanie, whatever, Slate, I think. And my problem with this is that you use why is my brain gone? Thank you. The Sulky Petites. And they're a little bit thicker. and I use a smaller eye needle, and it was breaking the floss.
Oh, gotcha.
So I did go and buy myself some bigger needles. I bought some size 24s. And then I sat down last night and worked on it and got that much done.
Nice.
And realized that I had put in the dark orange on the first, this was the first one I did, of the first carrot incorrectly. So, and I figured it out when I was putting in the second one. So I had to rip that out and put it back in. But I managed to get both oranges done on all 4 of those carrots. So that one is just a fun little piece. And really, if I would just stick with it, I could get done.
Right? There are so many fun things to do.
Oh, yeah. And I keep thinking about all my things. And this one, I have in a Tula pink bag that Katie gave me.
Look at those naughty lemurs.
And what I love is that in the back, you can tell it's still got some black on it, but it's easy to see through it. But yeah, from the front, what you get is just a cute picture with all the dots.
Love this.
So, oops, look, one of my little sulkies jumped ship.
That would have been bad. Well, except for you got orange, so not the worst one to lose.
Yeah. So that's it for my whips. That was a lot of stuff, huh?
Oh.
I mean, really, I didn't have that much that I worked on because I've been really, really focused on getting done.
Right.
So that brings me up to 20 finishes for this year.
Wow. Nice.
And you know, I've said that I'm not going to worry about the 59 before 60. When I looked at my stats on it, I've finished 43 projects now. Of those 43, 30 of them were smalls. And I think that's what's been making me nuts is that I have been having to look for things that are closer to a finish.
Right.
Or if they're not closer to a finish, then I'm going for the smalls. Well, that's not what I want to work on all the time.
Yeah. No, you don't want to pigeonhole yourself, especially after you're big. I'm touching everything I owned last year.
I want to work on everything. Yes. And there are times like, I mean, knee high is a smaller project, but it's very much a summary project.
Right.
And it's knee high by the 4th of July. I would love to finish it by the 4th of July. So there's my new goal. My birthday is July 3rd. I'll just finish it before my birthday.
That sounds like a great goal.
And I have been working on making project bags, and I feel like that has taken quite a bit of my time, and there's the end of my 59 before 60. I may make 60 bags before I turn 60.
Perfect.
So
there we go. That's just switch, be flexible. Challenges are just things you put on yourself.
Well, yes, and if it's not making you happy, don't stick with it.
Right.
There's no reason. I mean, and I get to I don't like to be told what to do by anybody, not even myself. And I get really stubborn and then I stop stitching. So when I let myself fully abandon getting there, my production has gone way up.
Right.
So,
well, and sometimes you need you know how you are talking about where to go to dinner with someone, you're like, oh, I don't care. And then they mention something, you're like, well, I don't want to do that. It's kind of that with stitching, you know? So
it is for sure. So what are your plans coming up? Have you looked? Do you have challenges for this week?
I do have challenges for this week.
I can't wait to hear them. I get so excited. I'm not even in the group.
Well, here, I'll just read them to you then so that you can know. So the group that we're talking about is Fandom Stitching Central on Facebook. We're going through all of the challenges this year are Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit themed, which has been really fun. And I've kind of fallen off. I do have some monthly things that I'm going to be working on the next couple of days. I've got to get 2,000 stitches into that house.
I think you can do that. Come on.
I've got a couple hundred already. But the tasks for next week are so you can do 2 different levels. One level is to do 100 stitches or an hour of stitching. And then the next level is to do 400 stitches or 4 hours of stitching. Oh, sorry. Flip that. It's 50 stitches or 30 minutes of stitching for one and 200 stitches or 2 hours for the other. that next one was for penalty stitches. If you
Oh,
have something
okay.
that fits the props.
Okay.
I always go for number of stitches because that takes me more time, and I feel like it pushes things through because I'm not a very fast stitcher. So if I worked for 2 hours on something, I'd get 150. So it just kind of bumps me a little
See,
bit.
and I was thinking 4 hours, 400 stitches. No, that's like an hour and a half.
Right. So see,
And I'm done.
yeah. So and a lot of people kind of strategize to get more points, and the points are it's the motivation to stitch for me. So
that would be, yeah, if I did 4 hours, I would do, depending on the piece, I would probably do at least 800 stitches, if not 1,000 or 1,200. So that would be a great thing for me.
See, the only way I would get 100 stitches in an hour is if I was working on something with one strand and it was just a big block of color. Like that's the only way.
Keisha's very neat about her stitching and very particular.
Yeah.
I am like, get those stitches in.
So I'm just not very fast. I mean, I don't try to push myself too
But her
hard on
stitches are beautiful.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So are yours. And they're faster than mine. But anyway, one of the things is to stitch on something with water. So I could use bonded by the Wreath.
There you go.
The next one is to stitch on something that I associate with friendship or that reminds me of my BFFs. So I could do any Sal. I could work on Death by Cross Stitch.
Or you could even work on the Wreath.
Yeah, I could work
on you could double dip on the Wreath.
I could, or well, you can't double dip.
Oh, okay.
Monthly to the weekly, but I could also work on Bonded by the Wreath.
There you go. Because now you know Katie Landis has it.
Yeah, and then the next one is to stitch on something with trees. Bonded by the Wreath. The next one is stitch on something that is confusing to you or it has given or is giving you problems, which is not bonded by the Wreath.
Death by cross stitch,
Death
though.
by cross stitch.
Because you have to plot out, it doesn't give you traditional problems, but it gives you problems from a standpoint that you have to plot where you're putting your colors.
Yeah, but and also it the back stitch lines don't show up very well on
that does give you problems
so
too. Yeah, problems. There you go.
And then the next one is to stitch on something that reminds you of someone or something eccentric. So anything that I'm styling with this one here.
I'm not eccentric.
So anyway, those are my props. So I just laugh. I'm probably not going to use Bonded by the Wreath for all of this. It's just funny that it fits a lot of them.
Well, and I'm trying to think your pig could go in there for some different things.
That pig is definitely eccentric.
It gives you problems.
He does.
From a different standpoint, yes, but happy problems.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so I have lots of things that I can work on. I really want to stay up with Castle Homecoming. She says whenever she'll just finish the first part, the first month, and then doesn't. I'm me. I'm who I am, and
but it's a lot of stitches, and I know you've talked about that there are some months where they give you just a huge chunk. How often does it come out?
It's monthly.
Okay.
So, but it's really exciting. I'm excited about that style. I think it'll be fun. So they've given previews of different things, and there are some things. Oh, I want to mix.
Your dinosaur style gives you problems because it's not finished.
Oh, it's not finished. And
it's over.
Yep.
So there you go.
There we go. I can work on those dinosaurs.
I am really trying to help you out here.
Let's go through all of the Sals that I have completed all the time.
So next year, Keisha is doing a year of Sals. She's just finishing all of her Sals.
Ooh, I got a lot. They draw you in with the mystery.
Somebody did pull out, I can't think who I was watching, and they pulled out all of their Sals and they decided that each month they were going to focus on one old Sal.
Oh, yeah.
And they were just trying to see how much progress they could get and get through them. And I think that I can't think who was doing it. If you guys remember, if you know that, put it down below so I go back and check, because it's fun. And I know you get, not you personally, but I know that people get sucked in by the Sals, and then you're like, but I didn't do it.
No, that's also me. I get sucked in by the Sals.
And me, not so much. The Sal that I got sucked in by that's still sitting around is the 2017 Linen and Threads mystery sampler. And it's still sitting at home, and I think I'm halfway through. I think I'm through June. So if I would pick it up and put in some, I could finish it. I'm not doing December's. I don't like that on the bottom. So I'm going to go through November and hope that it looks finished at that point.
Gotcha.
But that's one that it's really wide, so it's a lot of stitches to get in a month and still be able to stitch other things.
Right.
So
anyway, so those are kind of loose plates. I'll probably work on Bonded by the Rain. I'll work on Castle Homecoming. I may see if I can finish that hot cider. I'm not going to finish hot cider, but I may try. So
it's so cute.
I like it.
You're close.
Yeah. So I probably could if I focused on it, but I don't.
But you're not pushing for like a challenge either to have things finished. So.
No, well, actually, June. So you get 50 points in the group I was talking about for a finish.
Oh,
but June is the time of finishes, so you can only claim it one time most of the time, but you can claim it as many times as you want to in June. So I may try to finish a whole bunch of stuff in June.
Oh, so you need to go through your stuff and figure out what's close, huh? Can you think off that? Have you counted like off the top of your head to see how many things are close?
I mean, I probably have 3 things going right now that I could finish with a couple of days. But you can also get points for a page finish on a Haid.
Oh, so how close are you on a pick for a two? Hello.
I mean, you're gonna laugh. I'll show you guys. So this is a full page here. So
that's a lot.
That's
a lot. And how about the pig?
Well, the pig I'm not stitching page by page, but I could probably figure that out.
Finish 2 or 3 pages in there, huh?
Maybe so.
Because I know you made it to the edge, so I would think that you would be able to finish a page, and isn't that a little page on the right side? Yeah. It doesn't matter, right? It just is a page.
Yep. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It can be a teeny tiny page. So
that would be fabulous.
But anyway, so I may try to finish some things. I may not. I also know that there is some model stitching coming up for me, so there may be less.
You could have some finishes this month or in June with that, as long as she will let you. I mean, we could verify for her that they're finished.
It's okay. I'm really just in the group for fun and motivation, not to win. So,
but it would be fun to be able to say, I have finishes, and we would help you out there. We would vouch for you.
Vouch for me.
I think she would take it.
Yeah, probably so. It's Shan, who is Sarah, the all-seeing in the group. So
that would be fun.
Anyway, so what are your plans?
Well, okay, so Katie and I have been starting projects this year. We have planned to start 23 projects during the year. And for June, we each get 2 projects that we're starting. Not that we can't start more. Right. But one of mine is called Bristol Grace. Now, the story behind this one is kind of funny because I saw, if I can get a hold of it, I saw this island blue floss from Gentle Art and just fell in love.
Yes.
And then I have mixed in there, the darker one is Lagoon. And it just was so pretty that I thought I absolutely had to have it. And then this piece of fabric is from a black needle box, and I would have to think exactly what it is. Katie could probably tell me. But oh, here we go. It's not from Black Needle. It's hand-dyed linen by Mani Didona. And that's all it says. It doesn't have a color name, but it just has little touches of the floss color in there. So then when at Cecilia's, I was looking at what would be pretty to do with that. And I found this. Ooh. Bristol Grace, which should be fun. There's a bunny.
Oh, fun.
Gotta have a bunny.
Yes.
The dog may have to get changed to a cat. And
just give him a little pointed ear on top.
Well, Katie has a book that I can use to put one in there, and I'll get it figured out. but I just love this. And so that's one that I'm starting. And this I have in a bag that Athena gave me.
Ooh, so pretty.
These beautiful butterflies. And this is by, I have to look inside, Pinky Promises. And it's just beautiful. And then she does this on the back. So you should go look her up and get bags from her. This is machine embroidered. So it's really just beautiful. And it's all quilted. The inside is quilted, really nice. And it came with these pretty little floss tags.
Cute.
So I will use a couple of them and put my flosses on them while I am working with them. So that's one thing that I will start. You know, it's all about the stuff too, because I like all the stuff.
Yes, I mean, we like to collect accessories.
We do. The other one that I will be starting is from Teresa Kogut. And this one is Prim Spring, I can't say it, Prim Spring Rabbit. If you know me, I like bunnies, and I don't like cutesy bunnies. This one is just fun. And man, his coloring is showing really great on there. I do know though that you're supposed to stitch that brown all the way around. I don't know if I'll do that.
Okay.
I have not pulled fabric for this, so obviously that's something that I need to do. And maybe I'll just pick something really, really pretty to put behind that rabbit. That blue that I'm using, I have another piece of it in there.
Ooh, that would be good.
It would be really pretty. But I do have all of my colors for it. They're kind of autumnish.
They are.
Really cool though, with the big sunflower. That just seemed fun. And then I have this in a bag made by me.
So big.
Look at the bunny.
Perfect for it.
I think, Katie, is this Rifle Paper Co?
Yes.
Rifle Paper Co fabric. Both of them, the inside too. And we love this. This came in a few different colors, but this green was just, that's why you like it. I think Katie kept the other one. You don't get the other one of this, so sorry about that. But anyway, those are two things that I'll be starting in June. No set date for when I will start them. I also know that probably for Juneteenth, I'll pull out my, I don't know what the name of it is. The one with the two girls.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, you'll see it.
Yeah.
So I will pull that out during the month. I'm also going to try, like I said, to finish knee high before July 3rd or by July 3rd, right? So that it's done by the 4th of July. And I'll probably keep going and try and finish my hop on in so that I'm not adding to my whip count. I believe my whip count is sitting pretty firmly at 150, which is a pretty good place to get to.
Yeah, for sure.
So I would like to get it below 100. I don't think that's happening this year, but maybe that's a next year goal that I'll keep reducing it some because it's down already. I was over 180 when I started my go through all the whips last year. So I feel like that's a pretty good reduction for me.
Oh, for sure.
So
that's a lot, especially since you started new things.
Yes, I started a lot of new things. Last year I started, I think I counted and I started at least 22 new things. Well, I know I did because Katie and I did the 22 starts plus everything else I started during the year.
Yeah.
So, and for my friend Doreen Dee, yes, I'm still planning to do Forever in Peace, and I have it all set up to send to you. I just need to get everything together and get it out to you. So that's one of the things I'm starting for my birthday. I have more starts than Katie and I have agreed upon for July because we have a retreat coming in July. We're only supposed to, she's giving me the eye. We're only supposed to start one for that, but I'm trying to start a piece that I can start and finish during retreat.
Sure.
So I don't remember what I picked for that. Something fun. A whale. A whale by
nice.
Hands-On Design.
Perfect. A good one for that.
Yes. And but we're starting Ruby
Mm-hmm.
from Carolyn Manning, unless we change our minds. But we haven't said what our date is for it.
So, but in July, because that's July's birthstone, and we're both born in July.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody
So-
in this room was born in July.
So
There's only one of them.
yeah. So if you want to start something for our birthdays, you can start a Carolyn Manning or something Ruby, or those
Something
are
on
the
red
things.
fabric.
There you go.
There we go.
The things that we like. Ruby floss.
You can find some.
Go for it. But I think that probably I'm just rambling now.
And it sounds like we're going to get up to a lot of shenanigans.
So we better go.
Yes.
And there's only one more thing to say, and that's bye.
Bye. Have a good week.